this is stupid too, but I didn't pay myself for a year, and then he took a huge pay cut to come. And he and I were on the truck, built that business the first year. And then Eric, he's now our VP of operations. He just was beating down the door to come as well. And so he would come one day a week whenever he could, even that first year. And I remember all we could pay him was like $100 a day. But he didn't care. He's like, look, because he was in that same situation with that culture change, and he just wanted out as well. So for these guys to believe in our company and believe in what we were doing is just a huge compliment. And I knew that we were going to probably have some struggles just because it wasn't the same environment, wasn't the same leadership that we were getting. Now we had to do it on our own. We were always very good leaders, but looking back, we probably weren't the best entrepreneurs the first 3 years. So we would grind too hard, and we would let those frustrations get in the way. But those two guys now are my partners. I'm majority stockholder in the company, and they both invested in the company and helped us get into a second and third truck. So they've got some skin in the game, and I would never want to do it without them.
Wow, that's cool. How do you guys, like present day, and I know just from knowing you, you have seems like a really good dynamic in the leadership team. How do you guys communicate? Like, how do you guys strategize? How do you get on the same page? How do you resolve conflicts? Like, how do you maintain harmony with the three of you as owners?
Yeah, so we've had a pretty heck of a year this year, 2022. Obviously, I started working with Mike Claudio, and he's helped me navigate decisions that needed to be made. But before that, we were always pretty good friends and colleagues, but there was a lot of control with all of us. And that we would get in each other's lanes, and we would try to make decisions over each other. And, I'm surprised it didn't turn into some fistfights the first 3 years. So once we got our act together, I helped Eric get in his lane, and I helped Misael get in his lane, and that helped me get in my lane. So we communicate weekly we have a meeting with each one of those guys. And then every other week we have a ownership meeting together. So I get one-on-one time with each of them, and then we all three get time together. And then I try to plan a mid-year owners retreat for us. And this past 2 weeks ago, we went to the mountains, and we did a 5-hour expedition on class 4 and 5 rapids, got our ass kicked, and then had 2 days in a cabin where we strategized the past, we looked at the past 6 months versus what we're going to do the remainder of the year, and got our 2023 goals wrapped up. So when we hit the road running in January, we've got a good game plan for that.
Wow, that's cool. Was that the first time that you did a trip like that?
We did one a couple years ago, but we really had no agenda.
Yeah,
and we didn't get much accomplished.
Yeah.
This year we're much more organized, and we have started working on the business, not in the business so much, and that's been a game changer for us. We went to the Champions Parade last year in Charlotte with Mike and those guys, and we had a really good meeting the day after that event, and that kind of sparked our year. And so we decided to go ahead and do it twice a year, once in December and once in July every year.
Wow, fantastic. So yeah. I just want to pause to highlight a point for everyone, including myself, really. You're talking about July, you guys are sitting down in a cabin for a couple of days, and after having some fun and mapping out your goals for the next year, right? So like 6 months in advance. That's awesome. I think that's something that most people don't do. Probably something that people might do over New Year's Eve, that week off, the holidays and all that sort of thing. Like, all right, well, let's look at the year and let's make some goals for this year, New Year's resolutions and all that. But, there's companies and leaders like you guys who are already, you have a huge head start because you're already, allocating resources and making plans, maybe hiring team members for where you want to be next year. And that's awesome. That's what it takes, right?
Yeah. And it's taken us a while to figure that out. Don't think that we are the experts at it at all, but every day we're getting better at navigating how to plan better for the next 6 months. And like you said, even even people we don't think we need to hire, we're putting those positions in. So for us, it creates a lot of freedom. It creates a lot of being disciplined in that approach has created a ton of freedom for us to now to do meetings like that, not be in the grind so much every day and try to climb out of that. We're getting ahead of those grinds so we can hopefully make healthier decisions for our team.
Yeah, I think that's something that most companies don't do. Like and I'm guilty of it as well, right? We put our heads down, we get to work, especially those of us who are, blue collar backgrounds. We love to work hard. And I know that's my default mode. If something needs to get done, I'm just going to put my head down and get it done.
Yeah.
And I think most of us are guilty of like not picking our heads up and saying, all right, well, where am I going here? What pieces do I need to put in place? Because, if we double our business or we add 20% to our business, like that's just going to be more work for me as the owner. And, I'm going to be grinding myself into a pulp, which is no good.
Yeah. Our business has doubled this year, and there's no way that we could handle that growth if we don't do this planning at all. I mean, period. And, who knows, we do forecasting and what have you for next year, but if we have anything similar to what we had this year and we wait until January, we won't be ready for it at all.
Right.